Why would you light your room first? The wine was whining. They came up with this bright idea to just burn the house down. Someone could debate that, but I don't really care. We should do something else. She heard screams and her first reaction was, oh, let me run. I don't wanna go. Hi you guys, 안녕하세요. It's Yoram, and today is a book review. I'm so excited. This is the first book review of the year. So please don't forget to like, comment down below, and subscribe to see more book reviews. And without further ado, let's get into today's video. So this is the first book review of the year, I think. And I'm so excited. So it has been a very long time since I've updated you guys on the books that I've even been reading. I finished one book already way early this year. So this book review is very much so overdue because I've already finished a book. I started another one. I'm halfway through one. And I've started another one. So I haven't been giving you guys the deeds. I haven't been telling you guys anything. I've just been reading and reading. Here is the update. The first book of the year that I decided to read was this here. This is We Were Liars by Lockhart. It's not what I expected it to be. It wasn't boring or horrible or anything like that. I didn't have any big expectations. However, it still surprised me. I read this book in February, a little bit like a couple days or a week or so after my birthday. So maybe the first week of March. So my rating of this book, I usually do out of 5 out of 10. I'm going to do both today. So out of 5, I give this book 4. And out of 10, I would say I give this book an 8. Now into the nitty gritty of why. So overall, I really enjoyed this book. It was actually matching my mood. I wasn't feeling all that into books and reading. So I was like, this seems like it's going to be very interesting and intriguing. So I'll choose this one first because I'm not really in a reading mood. I also did not read as many books last year as I would have liked. I just kind of like fell off of reading just a little bit, just a smidget. So the reason that I give this book a 4 out of 5 and a 8 out of 10, really enjoyed it. It was nice. It actually made me very sentimental and emotional. Like lately, the books that I've been reading haven't been making me emotional. I don't think it's just the books themselves. I think it's preset emotions that I already have, and the books are like amplifying it. It made me very emotional because the ending is quite tragic, sad, have some depth in it. So if you're like grieving and stuff, don't read this book because you'll be grieving someone else and the characters in this book, I may say. It has been a really long time since I read this book, and I hate when I do this to myself. Okay, I went back a little bit too much, not November. So the main character in this book was Cadence Sinclair. Can't remember her middle name, but it's not really important anyway. Cadence Sinclair was the main character in this book. I feel like everyone was so important to this book that they almost didn't feel like supporting characters. They felt like main characters. Someone could debate that, but I don't really care. I really loved how she wrote this book. The tragic thing that ends up happening happens to not only her, but it involves everyone in the whole family. Now, the more important sludge that we need to get to is the grandparents and her aunt. So her grandparents are Tipper and Harris, I think. Yeah, Tipper and Harris Sinclair, and their daughters are Penny, Carrie, and Bess, one of which is her mother. So her grandparents have this property that they go to, all the kids, all the mothers, etc., etc. Basically, the whole family goes to every summer, and they spend the whole entire summer on the island at the property. So she talks about getting close to the other kid. I can't remember his name at the moment. I will remember in a second. It's summer's over, they leave, and then they come back the next year. So I think the next year after they come back is when the actual accident happened. I don't want to spill too much, but y'all, it's a review, so I'm gonna be spilling. His name is Gat. 4 main characters are around the same age. She has other cousins, but they're younger. 4 of them are Johnny, Gat, and I forgot her name. It's another girl. Let me see. Mirren. Is it Mirren? 잠깐 기다리세요. And so Gat is the one that she really, you know, kind of feels something for, and he feels something for her after they had kind of gotten really close and liked each other is when things changed. They came back and apparently he had been in a relationship. She felt angry and upset, but it's also like they don't communicate. The only time they really talk and get to know each other is at the property during summer. A good portion of this book, she was trying to uncover her memory. I was so confused, and I did not, you guys, I could not predict this book. And that is what made me really enjoy, because if I would have been able to predict it, I probably would have been like, ugh. I felt like I was the one who she didn't have short-term memory loss. She actually had an injury to her head, which resulted in her not remembering things. And I also think it was like traumatic, so the trauma as well. On the St. Clair property, there was multiple houses. Each mom had a property. But what happened is that same summer, the first summer that she talked about, Cadence, the grandmother died. That really changed up everything. The grandpa, Harris, I believe his name, he ended up developing dementia. I don't know if it's dementia or dementia. I should look it up, but I don't want to. Really didn't like his daughters. He had a very their relationship was very much performative, and a lot of the aunts performed in order to get things, try to one-up each other. Really caused the biggest conflict of all. Parents were horrible. They were horrible, especially Cadence's mother. She just was very dismissive of her feelings a lot. Even after the incident of her head trauma and her hitting her head, I don't think she was a good mother, just in my opinion. What happened is the kids got fed up with their parents trying to get the kids to instigate and bribe their grandfather for property, old jewelry of their mothers, and it was just a very weird dynamic. The kids got so upset and pissed off. They were like, you know what? You guys are sitting up being weird to us, is missing us, not caring about us and our feelings. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go and burn down the main house. The grandfather renovated that. They felt like it didn't have any soul in it anyway. They were like, he changed everything else. The grandfather wasn't a great person as well. He was Gat was Indian, I think, or half, and the grandfather didn't like that. There's nothing much more to say about that. So the grandfather wasn't an amazing person either. I would say, honestly, the only person that was really great and grand out of all the adults was the grandmother. She was the best, and she happened to die off very fast. To get to these properties, you have to get there by boat. They were gonna go somewhere entirely different. They tried to get the kids to come. Johnny, Gat, Cadence, and Mirren, they tried to get them to come. They wouldn't, and they just left it alone. While they were gone, they came up with this bright idea to just burn the house down. They also decided, before even doing any of this, we should do something else. We should drink wine before enacting this whole plan, which was really, in my opinion, the downfall. They shouldn't have done it at all. I feel like they could have got the point across in another way. And so they're like, we're gonna each be in different rooms, like, you know, like the mud rooms. I think one of them was in there. There's only 4 of them, so 3 were in a room. So the first person's gonna like take the gasoline, light the first room, run down. The second person's gonna light it, you know, run down. But as you can probably infer, it did not happen in the way that they thought it was. Them being drunk, drinking delays your reaction time and your thoughts and all of it. I think she lit her room first, and she wasn't at the top, and so she wasn't supposed to do that. She was able to make it out. And what really upset me is the wine was whining, because she was in the library. Why would you light your room first? She heard screams, and her first reaction was, oh, let me run. I cannot believe what I was reading. It was too much. Truthfully, I don't know if I remember her hitting her head, but I don't know how that correlates. So yeah, that's the big incident that ended up happening. Her mom told everyone not to tell her what happened because she didn't want her like stressing out. But she told everyone, all the other family members and stuff, to not tell her what happened and to just let her, you know, process it on her own and come to the conclusion and remember on her own, which at first I thought that was a very nice approach. But as it went on, I was like, I don't know if she should still let her continue to just like figure it out on her own, because it was making her very frustrated. And I just didn't like how she was asking people things. She just felt very alone. The readers are figuring it out as well as her, but it was just very saddening. She felt very apologetic, and not only apologetic, she blamed herself. It made me very emotional. I shed tears about it because I don't know, I felt very intense emotions, as if it was me made that decision because of frustration, you know. Was it a kind of careless decision? Yes, absolutely. Was it a well thought out decision or plan? No. They did it because of the adults. The other parents, they kind of chilled out, so everything was like okay now. Honestly, it worked out in the sense that the parents stopped fighting over materialistic things and trying to possess things and one up each other. It worked in that sense. And when you think about it, it's like, y'all didn't even have to do that. Y'all could have went along with them to go to the other part of the island or whatever they were doing, but y'all decided to get drunk and try to set the thing on fire. And I felt so weird at the end, because it's just like, dang, like, how did you survive before GAT? I could go on a rant about it forever. I was just so confused, because I'm like, how were you guys supposed to communicate anyway? Like, were y'all supposed to yell real loud and be like, okay, next room? What really set it off for me, is that I believe they poured gasoline everywhere first, and they were individually supposed to light it and be like, do I think I would read this book anytime soon? It's kind of depressing, I won't lie. I feel like I've been saying that about the books that I've been reading lately, but they low-key been sad. Before I started reading this, I was sad, and then after reading, I was sad. On to my second book of the year. So after that kind of depressing-ish book, I was like, ugh, I think I should read something different, because I have another book or two, and they might be like sad. So I was like, I think I'm just gonna take a little break and read something like this. This is Unwinding Anxiety by Judson Brewer. I haven't really gotten into the nitty-gritty of it or really far into it, so I will talk about this book more in my next book review, but I just wanted to tell you guys that I started reading it, and this is like my second book of the year that I've decided to read because it's self-help. I feel like it'll really help me and be very interesting to read. So I've also started reading this. This is the sequel to One of Us is Lying. This is One of Us is Next. I just started reading it recently because I needed a break from this self-help book. So I will be telling you guys about this in my next book review as well. And it's pretty good so far. I'm trying to remember things that happened in the first one because I need like a refresher, I won't lie. Because I low-key forgot. It's been really chill. I haven't been in a reading mood that much lately, but I've been trying. I've been taking a little break. So, but yeah, you guys will hear much about this, and I might be telling you guys about some other books that I've finished recently. Yeah, if you are seeing this, that means you made it to the end of this vlog or video. And yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, because I did. I will see you guys in my next video or vlog. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to let me know that you guys like the content, so you guys can see any upcoming videos or vlogs. 안녕하세요. I will see you guys in my next video or vlog. Peace. I love you and God loves you. Bye.